Last week, it was reported that an individual who works closely with Kim Jong-un was assassinated for his failures in reaching a nuclear deal with Donald Trump. Now, this was in regard to the failed nuclear disarmament negotiations that took place in Vietnam back in February. And so Kim Hyok Chol is the North Korean official who was allegedly blamed by Kim Jong-un for not doing enough to push those negotiations through. And so it was reported by a South Korean media outlet, which was citing an anonymous source, that he had been assassinated as a result. But now there's an update to the story that I think is fascinating, and I also think that you should probably take with a grain of salt because it comes from North Korea. So without further ado, here is CNN's reporting on it.
Kim Yong-chol, the high-ranking official reportedly banished for the failed Hanoi summit, sitting just a few seats away from Kim Jong-un at an art performance over the weekend. His hands cover his face. But if this state media photo is authentic, it directly, perhaps intentionally, challenges a South Korean newspaper report that Kim Yong-chol has been dismissed and is doing forced labor, exiled by a North Korean leader furious over the stunning collapse of talks in Vietnam and President Trump's surprising walkout.
So North Korea right now is arguing that he was not assassinated, that he's actually in detention or he's being detained and they're investigating him. And to be fair, diplomats and officials from Pyongyang have been known to disappear from public view, only to resurface after a period of so-called re-education. So is it possible that that's happening to him? Sure, it's possible, but we don't know, because can you really trust what's coming out of North Korean media right now? And also, if he is placed in some sort of re-education camp, why is he at a fun event with Kim Jong-un?
Well, he had to cover his eyes. So you see, maybe he went to the event and they were like, but you can't watch. So he's just sitting there the whole time going like, I'm being punished. You know what I'm saying?
Stealth mode.
Well, part of the article said that he was not sentenced to forced labor, but instead kept silently in his office writing statements of self-criticism, which is hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
Remember when you get in trouble and your teacher would be like, you have to write lines? You ever do that? Yeah. So he's probably in an office going like, I messed up the summit. I messed up the summit.
I've been very, very bad.
Yeah, been very bad. Very, very, yeah.
But I do think it speaks to how little we know about North Korea. And I do think it's actually good that we're talking to North Korea, which is not what the mainstream media at all states. They just want to put North Korea in some sort of evil box. But at the same time, you don't go into engaging with North Korea with your eyes closed. You go into engaging with North Korea with as deep an analysis as possible of the way that country operates. And we don't know anything about it.
I don't think Trump needs to do any research or analysis, because as he said right before his first summit with Kim Jong-un, he's just gonna rely on his touch.
Yeah, he goes by his gut. Yeah, he goes by his gut. Everything's by his gut. No, it's like, like you said, you got to know the country. And they were saying, apropos to what you were saying about people disappearing and coming back, it said that the Kim Yong-ju, the brother of Kim Il-sung, who's North Korea's founder, said that he disappeared for nearly 2 decades. He disappeared in the mid-70s and he reappeared in 1993.
Yeah.
That's just funny to me that obviously the guy, it's sad what's happening, but it's just funny where they're like, all right, he's just gonna disappear.
I think both in this story and when we were talking about the El Paso rally earlier, we see something with Trump. A lot of his relationships and his trust is based on sort of a personal feeling, like who is it kind of like me, who's my kind of guy? It's insane how personal and private and closed off his entire worldview actually is.
He has an affinity for authoritarians, there's no question about that. He also has an affinity for people in positions of royalty or extreme power. So he has, for some reason, this obsession with getting the British royals to love him. Yeah. And it's really interesting because earlier in the week we did this story about how, he called Meghan Markle nasty in an interview. It was in audio, like we can play it and listen to it. And then after he was caught calling her nasty, he completely denied it. And I kept wondering, why is he denying it? Usually he has no problem going after women. He has no problem, especially going after women of color. He's called Maxine Waters low IQ. So I was kind of shocked that he was trying to deny it. And then I realized, he wants to be on the Queen's good side. And it's not necessarily going to play well with the queen
and the princes too.
And the princes.
the male, role models with all the money.
Yeah.
Well, he likes the macho dudes. He likes these guys that are powerful. They're dictators. He likes those guys. And as you said, it's mostly like, oh, this guy likes me. And there's no intellectual. Again, he's not going in.
It's not analytical.
Not analytical. Like, listen, here's how Kim Jong-un has acted in the past. Here's how the country has acted in the past. Let's go have these negotiations, but just be ready for these things. But rather, I think he's somebody who goes, no, don't read me that stuff.
That guy's a tough guy. I want to be a tough guy, even though I pretend to be a tough guy. Let me just hang out with him.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last week when this initial story broke, but JR did cover it, and he was skeptical, and here's some evidence of it.
And there had been, I believe, in March of this year, there was some initial reporting that there had been reprisals against some of the diplomats. It wasn't as specific, and bear in mind that as of right now, this particular report is based off of one anonymous source.
To John's point about how, there's one source with this, it's reported by one particular person. So there has been several senior officials that have said that they've reappeared after it was considered to possibly have been executed for whatever random reasons. But that's a fact. Even if this is, maybe a report that doesn't gonna get confirmed completely and verified and under all terms, the point is it has happened.
So just want to give our host some credit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have our eye on the pulse.
Well,
is that what people say? No, hand on the pulse, heart on the pulse.
Hand on the finger on the pulse.
Finger on the pulse.
You were close. You were close. You were getting close.
We have something
hand.
on the pulse.
Is it the arm on the pulse? Is it I think it's the shoulder on the pulse.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.